Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So today I want to share with you fragrances that I have reached for the most during the last 3 months. Basically, my fall favorites. And that's also going to include 2 new fragrances that I have been testing that I've never spoke about before. So please make sure to stay until the end. I'm going to start with a Xerjoff fragrance. I mean, what kind of video would it be without including 1 or 2 Xerjoffs? And this video is no exception, as you can see. The first fragrance that I have reached for a lot during the past 3 months is Ivory Root. Now, you know how much I love this fragrance. I do consider it a masterpiece scent. It is absolutely stunning. And you know, I haven't worn it through the warmer months because I don't think it really works in the warm weather. And I didn't realize how much I missed it. As soon as I started wearing it, I just couldn't get enough. Now, this is one of the fragrances from the Join the Club collection where we don't exactly know what notes are included in here. All I can go by is what's included on Fragrantica, which I really don't believe is everything that's in here. They have sandalwood, they have spices, basil, patchouli. There is more than that for sure. This is definitely a spicy fragrance. There is a mixture of these spices that you get a blast of when you first spray it on, and then amazing vanilla starts coming out, very sweet, very deep, very warm, and it mixes beautifully with those spices. So they definitely mellow out as the fragrance dries down. Absolutely stunning scent. This is not your run-of-the-mill type of vanilla. This is a very special type of vanilla. Performance on this is also absolutely outstanding. I was wearing it one day and you know I don't have to overspray with this fragrance, so I sprayed normally, and I didn't even spray my clothes on purpose. Something must have gotten on my shirt, and I wore the same shirt a few days later, and when I put it on, I could smell Ivory Root so vividly. I couldn't even wear another fragrance because it was just radiating from me. It was there until I put the shirt in the wash. So strong, so powerful, so beautiful. I just cannot get enough of this fragrance. And since we're on the topic of Xerjoff, let's talk about another Xerjoff scent that I have been wearing a lot in the last 3 months. This is Italica. Again, have been loving this one. Whenever I have a craving for gourmand, very often I have been reaching for this one. You know, I think I mentioned it before that the more I wear it, the more I fall in love with this scent. You know, I liked it a lot from the very beginning, but maybe the hype was just so large that I was left slightly underwhelmed. Although I still strongly liked it, but I didn't feel like this was the best gourmand ever. Do I now? I still don't. But this is a very unique gourmand, and it's very beautiful, and it is extremely addictive. Like I said, the more I wear it, the more I want to smell it, and my husband also absolutely loves it on me. So this fragrance, like I said, is a gourmand. So there is, of course, almond, there is milk, there is toffee, there is vanilla, sandalwood. I think there is a note of saffron, which I don't get at all because I'm not a huge fan of it, and I'm so thrilled that I don't get it in this fragrance. To me, it's mostly almond, toffee, and milk. It definitely has that lactonic quality, and toffee is actually the sweet note that comes out more than, let's say, even vanilla. So it definitely has that toffee touch, and almond, of course, is the star player here. So it's like eating an almond cookie with a glass of milk. That's kind of what I feel like. But you know, it's a very elevated type of almond cookie. It's not just something that you buy at a grocery store, like you're sitting somewhere at a fine restaurant and eating this interesting and fancy almond cookie and maybe drinking something that has milk in it. I don't know. That's kind of what I feel like, but Love this one, have been reaching for it a lot, and I'm sure that I will continue to reach for it a lot through the remainder of the fall and winter. Next one that I have been loving is from the house of Nishane, and this is 100 Silent Ways. Now, I have two fragrances from this house, this one and Ani. And you know, when I first purchased the two fragrances, which was pretty close together, I think I was exploring the house at the time, I really found myself gravitating towards Ani a lot more. And what happened in recent times, I'm gravitating more towards 100 Silent Ways. Don't get me wrong, I still love Ani, I still wear it, but for some reason I have been reaching for this one more. And I think it's because, and don't get shocked by this statement, but I kind of have been gravitating a little bit more towards floral notes, more specifically, this is going to be a real shocker, tuberose. I have no idea what's going on. It is still a challenging note for me, but I find myself liking quite a few scents featuring this note. There is a specific type of tuberose that I'm really starting to enjoy. I don't know what's happening. My palette is changing. I'm not sure. I mean, even when I say it, to me, it sounds crazy, because if you watched me for a while, you know that tuberose is probably one of the most challenging notes for me. But you know, our tastes change, our palettes change, and I have been gravitating more towards tuberose. And I have been loving floral notes that are in here, because there's tuberose, jasmine, I think gardenia as well. There's obviously beautiful sweet vanilla that is mixed with these notes. There's also sandalwood, and there's peach, orange. Well, I'm not really getting peach or orange. I'm not getting any fruity notes. To me, there are no fruity nuances to this fragrance. This is white florals mixed together with this amazing vanilla and sandalwood. It is beautiful. It's just an amazing combination of vanilla with white florals that just works. This is a fragrance for those that struggle with white florals. You can easily enjoy this one. So again, this is 100 Silent Ways from Nishane. Next, let's talk about a couple of scents that I found extremely comforting during this fall. You know, once the weather started cooling down, we were getting a lot of rain. There are a lot of gloomy days, you know, when you're kind of feeling down. These I found very comforting, very cheerful. They just lifted my mood. So the first one is Winter Palace from Memo. You know, every time, I mentioned this many times, but every time I look at this bottle, I get mesmerized by it. I think it is so beautiful. Some might think it's over the top, this big dragon, I don't know, but I just love looking at it. And the fragrance inside is equally as beautiful. This is a stunning tea and orange scent. So to me, tea and orange are kind of the star players in this fragrance. And in addition to that, there is also vanilla. There are other citruses. There's tonka. I'm sure there are other notes. And citrus kind of plays a dual role in here for me. On one hand, I'm getting this juicy, zesty, kind of burst in your mouth kind of orange, and on the other hand, I'm getting some kind of orange candy. So it's two types of orange mixed together, which makes it really interesting and really delicious. And then the note of tea is so beautifully done. You know, it is here. It's definitely evident. You can tell that there is tea here, but it's not overpowering. It's just done in such an amazing way and mixes beautifully with this kind of dual type of orange. And you know, then you get vanilla, sandalwood, add even more sweetness and creaminess to this scent. Absolutely outstanding scent. And like I said, have been reaching for it a lot, especially on those kind of gloomy, rainy, cold types of days. Another scent that I have been reaching for kind of on the same types of days is, of course, my longtime favorite, Dances of the Dragonflies from Nobile 1942, or La Danza della LIBELLULE. You know, I did a video a couple months ago where I thought, okay, I finally learned how to pronounce the name of this fragrance correctly, and still turns out, no, somebody still corrected me. Well, you know, this is the best I can do. You know that this one has been a favorite of mine for a very, very long time, and it just never gets old. This is kind of a fragrance whenever I'm not sure what to wear or I'm in a bad mood, I would always reach for this, and I'm never disappointed. I never get tired of this scent. This is a gorgeous, warm, sweet, slightly cinnamony, very buttery type of apple pie. That's what I get in here. There are red apples in here, and again, I really, really enjoy that smell of red apple. As it turned out, I'm not a huge fan of green apple, how they smell, but I really enjoy red apples, and they're done beautifully here, mixing together with vanilla and cinnamon. And I think there's coconut in here, which I don't really get, and it definitely has very buttery texture as well. So gorgeous, gorgeous scent. I mean, I don't need to spend a lot of time on this one. I've talked about it a lot on my channel. This one is a must. Next one that I have been reaching a lot for, especially sort of in the first half of the fall, before we got really cold weather, is a stunner from Dior. This is from MAISON Dior line, and this is Gris Dior. Another absolutely amazing, amazing masterpiece type of fragrance. This, in a way, is a simple fragrance. I mean, mostly it's rose and patchouli, but it's rose and patchouli done in a very, very special way. Unlike any other rose and patchouli that I have tried, it is so special. It is so elegant. It is so sophisticated. It is just so special. So in addition to rose and patchouli, there is oak moss, which is quite prominent here as well. Maybe that adds a special touch to this fragrance. I'm not sure. There is amber, there is sandalwood, but like I said, mostly beautiful, elegant, rose and patchouli. And this scent is kind of universal in my mind. I really feel like it's appropriate any time of the year, and it is appropriate for any occasion. So Gris Dior has become a staple in my collection. Next one that I found so addictive, and this one, I start wearing it, I cannot put it down. I really have to force myself to stop wearing it. This is Belle from Jean Paul Gaultier, and this is the La Parfum or Intense version that was released earlier this year. Now, I have both versions. I love both, and I think I've been reaching more for this one just because it's a newer fragrance in my collection, but I still absolutely love both versions. Now, this one has, well, again, I don't know if that's all the notes, but it's tonka, pear, jasmine, vanilla, and this one is deeper, richer, stronger, maybe more seductive than the original Belle. Tonka adds a really nice kind of chocolatey vibe to me. And I've mentioned before that I don't really get all that much of pear in here compared to the original one, which is all about pear. To me, for some reason, fruitiness comes off as having a mix of some kind of red berries. That's what I get from it. It is gorgeous scent. I also, of course, love the bottle because it's beautiful, and I love the performance on this fragrance. It has an amazing performance. It projects, it lasts. It's just so, so addictive. The next fragrance comes from the house of Cabanel, and this is Café Cabanel. I've kind of neglected this fragrance a little bit earlier this year. I just don't know why, well, I know why, because, I got a lot of new fragrances and I want to try all of them. I want to wear them. So this one kind of left behind a little bit, and I forgot how gorgeous it is. And I pulled it out a month or so ago, and I wore it, and I was like, wow, why haven't I been wearing this? It is absolutely beautiful, and I love it. I have been enjoying wearing it so, so much. This is a coffee scent. It also has milk, it has butter, it has cinnamon, there's heliotrope, caramel, tonka, sandalwood. I mean, beautiful, beautiful notes. This is like drinking a very rich, latte from Starbucks. It definitely has a lot of milk in it, so it is quite lactonic, and it is extremely smooth and buttery and creamy. It's very rich type of latte, and cinnamon adds such a beautiful spiciness to this. Cinnamon is not overdone. Sometimes there could be too much cinnamon. It is not in here. It just adds a dash of spiciness. This is absolutely gorgeous. No idea why I've neglected this scent for a while, but it's back heavily in my rotation. And now let's talk about the two new fragrances that I mentioned at the beginning. Now, I have been very curious and very interested in exploring the house of Profumum Roma. I have Sorriso from this house. That's the only fragrance that I have and the only fragrance that I have tried. But I have been super curious about this house. Now, the house is very, very expensive and very difficult to find here in Canada. In fact, I think we have to order it from overseas states like Lucky Scent or somewhere else. So fragrances from this house are very, very expensive. So I almost blind bought 1 or 2 bottles, but then I decided, okay, let me be smart and let me try to find samples or decants of these to try them out before I spend so much money without testing them. So this is what I did. The number one fragrance that I have been interested in from Profumum Roma is Confetto. So I got a decant of this, and let me give you a spoiler here. I was so incredibly disappointed. I absolutely hate this fragrance. Absolutely hate it. I think it's one of the worst fragrances I have ever tried. Seriously, I could not wear it on my skin. I mean, when I got it, I sprayed it on the blotter and I thought, wait, it cannot be this bad. Something is wrong here. Let me spray it on my skin and it's the same. It's the same on the skin and on the blotter. So let me quickly give you the notes. I mean, the fragrance is pretty simple. It has candied almond, anise, vanilla, amber musk, supposed to be this beautiful kind of gourmand vanilla scent. All I get is Play-Doh. Play-Doh, very strong Play-Doh and nothing else. It is, I will be honest with you, it's verging on the repulsive to me. I cannot smell it. I absolutely hate it. I am so relieved that I didn't buy the full bottle. This would have been a disaster. I am puzzled by this. I am completely puzzled because this house is really highly regarded. Many people rave about many fragrances. I've heard many good reviews about this one. To me, it's a big no. It just smells like pure Play-Doh with nothing else. Through the whole life of the fragrance, it's Play-Doh. Now, second one is also from this house. So I got 2 decants. The second fragrance that I really wanted to try is called, I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce it correctly, but this is Dulcis Infundo, Dulce Infundo. I'm not sure. I'll be putting up the name and the picture here. Now, this one has citruses and it has vanilla. That's what's listed on Fragrantica. I'm not sure if there is more than that here, but these are the notes that are listed. So what do I think about this one? Well, it's definitely not as bad as Confetto. It's a pleasant scent. It literally smells like citruses and vanilla. What it says is what it smells like to me. It's pleasant scent, but considering the price tag on this fragrance, I don't understand. It's so simple and it is so light. When I sprayed, I can barely detect it, barely. There's no projection, there's no longevity. I can barely smell it on my skin. The scent profile, although pleasant, very simple, very uneventful. You can find a ton of fragrances with this scent profile. So overall, although I like this one so much more than Confetto, I am still left completely disappointed by both of these scents. you know, I hate being negative about fragrances, but I'm here to be honest with you, you know, give you my honest opinion. If I love a fragrance, I'm gonna rave about it. And if I don't like a fragrance, well, I'm gonna tell you that it's not good. And in my opinion, these two are definitely letdowns. I'm so relieved I didn't get full bottles because I was really tempted by both of these. It's just a good lesson for me how important it is to sample. These would have been a disaster. So I cannot recommend these fragrances. Now, please remember, obviously it's my subjective opinion. This is how my nose picks them up. This is how they react with my body chemistry. I'm sure that there are people out there who love these fragrances, which is wonderful. For me, they did not work and I found them quite disappointing. So there you go. These are the fragrances that I have used a lot during the fall, during the last 3 months, and a few new fragrances that I have tested. I would love to know what have been your favorites during the fall months. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you soon in the next video. Bye.